You may know me as Shah, you may know me as Icicle. Either way, this is what I want to share with you today. 2 weeks ago, I had a crazy out-of-body experience, what we call an OBE. So I have been fascinated with the idea of soul records, and it's the idea that you can access every experience you've ever had here, whether it's here on Earth, whether it's in other realms, other dimensions. It's an idea that's been floating around this community for a long time. Some people call it the Akashic Records, and others call it soul records, and I've just been fascinated by it, and I want to access my own. I tried to do that. So 2 weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night. Well, I say middle of the night. It was about 4:30, 4:40, something like that. That's typically my sweet spot. And when I woke up at that time, I was like, right, I'm going to give it a go. So I just kept saying over and over, soul records, soul records. When I access my soul records, when I access my soul records. I didn't put on an eye mask. I didn't put on any binaural beats. I actually put on a Darius J. Wright interview, and within 20 minutes, I was sitting up and I was exiting my body. So the first thing I remember is floating out of my body, turning around, seeing my body on the bed, and then my arms lifted up and I kind of fell backwards through my floor. I felt myself go through the carpet. And as I'm falling through the floor, I can feel that I'm going through levels. I can't see very well, so then I say, wait, I want to see. I open my eyes and everything's black and white. I'm falling down bricks, like a brick, kind of like this, but black and white. I can feel it, it's textured, it's very physical. And I decided to look at my hands. My hands resemble my hands that I know. And then all of a sudden, the scene around me almost looks like a prison cell out of Alcatraz. I got the double feeling of like an old style, what they used to call a mental institute back in the day, and also a prison like Alcatraz. It had that feeling. Everything was in black and white, like I said. It was very depressive, very just want to end my life. And I could see a man in a single bed, and it was cold and it was horrible. The feeling was very overwhelming. And I remember I kept falling down levels, and each level kept presenting the same scene over and over, and it was almost like that was it. That was eternity. It felt like eternity. And at some point I said, I don't like this, I want to leave. And as I said that, I started floating upwards. And as I'm floating upwards, I'm asking for help. So I'm calling for my nan, I'm calling for someone to help me. No one comes to help me, but the scene changes. And when the scene changed, it was all like so hard to actually put into words what I could see. But it was like buildings made of glass, and they were going upwards, almost like in a funnel. And every time I got close to a surface, to the buildings, to the trees, to the glass, it was lighting up. And more colours that you don't normally see were coming through. So I'm looking at green trees, but when I get closer, it's lighting up and I'm seeing vibrant reds, vibrant blues. And at some point I realised it's me making the light happen. So I'm like, oh my God, is that me? Am I emanating that much light? I can't believe I'm vibrating that much light. So I fly near some glass and it lights up. And then I become really overwhelmed with just like love, feelings of love and just joy, because I can't believe I'm creating that light. It's really hard to explain unless you've experienced it yourself. It's otherworldly. And then I see my reflection and I'm wearing a black cloak, and I can't see the details of my face because the reflection was quite far, but yeah, I'm wearing a black hooded cloak. And then I say, right, I want to see this place. I want to see the sky. I want to see what this place really is. So my arms shoot up like this and I'm flying so fast. And then I decide that I want to go sideways. So I start flying through these windows. And as I'm looking at the window, it's nighttime. I can see a city and I'm seeing castles in the sky. I'm seeing a city, but this is in the sky. I'm seeing Taj Mahal dome type buildings. I'm seeing castles. I'm seeing skyscrapers. So I couldn't even fathom a location because it was all over the place in terms of what I could see. I'm flying and I'm flying higher and higher and higher, and I'm seeing more buildings, more castles, more of these things, and I'm thinking to myself, surely I must be getting close to the edge now because I've been flying up so high and so far for so long. At that point, I'm amongst clouds. There's a castle here to my right, but I'm amongst clouds, and I see this light coming through the clouds. I'm thinking, oh, I must be outside of this place. Um, fly towards the light, and as I get round there, I can see the planet Uranus. So I'm like, huh? And no, Neptune. Sorry, it was Neptune. It wasn't Uranus. It was Neptune. So I'm really confused. And then I see Mars. I think I know I saw a couple of planets, but then as I fly closer, I can see that the planets are fake. They're models. So I'm like, oh. Then I notice there's a massive stage. Then I notice that there are model statues of dragons. And it looks like I'm about to watch a theatre show in the sky. So I'm so confused now. I'm like, what is going on? Where is this? Where am I even? Like, what? I don't understand what I'm seeing. I then notice that there is an older man with a young boy, probably about the age of 12, and he's got him behind him. And I'm like, I feel this dread and suspicion. So I'm like, I'm not going anywhere until I see what he's going to do with that kid. So I then land, like Spider-Man style, Marvel style, on the ground, and I feel my feet on the ground and the dirt comes up. And there's all these men in suits and earpieces and like very security, like high security about, like walking around. So I land on the ground, they can't see me, and I'm walking amongst them and I'm following where this man is taking his kid. And he gets into this car, and it's like a real 1920s style car. And they get in the car, and then I feel myself just floating backwards, and I end up back in my body and I wake up. I don't know what to make of what I saw. I don't really understand it at all. The beginning bit, I think, must be historical because I was asking to see my soul records, and the beginning I could see was a person, a man in a single bed, and it was like I said, old school style, what they called mental institute. That's the only wording that I can use because that's what it felt like. So I know it's not politically correct today, but it was for then. And it also felt like a prison. Now that could have been me accessing past, like the past or my past lives, because in this life I have struggled with mental health conditions. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was a representation of that. But the stuff like flying through the sky, planets, the stage, castles in the sky, the Taj Mahal, the skyscrapers, I have no idea. If anybody has any ideas on this, feel free to put it in the comments. If you think I'm crazy, you can say that too, because I don't care. But yeah, I just thought that I would share that with you guys and see if anyone has seen anything similar or if you can relate. Until next time.